June 30th will be the fifth installment of the Indiana Jones franchise, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So we're going to go back in time to look at 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark. And yes, it's called Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's not called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Back in 1981, it was called Raiders of the Lost Ark. And that's what I'm calling it. And that's what it is.
It's taking that a little bit personally.
Lucasfilms, man, they keep doing that stuff, retitling, re-editing, all that stuff. Screw that. Welcome back to A Tale of Two Bros. My name is Angel,
I'm a Don.
where we give you a review at least once a week. Spoiler alert, Raiders of the Lost Ark came out in 1981, so this is definitely a throwback review, starring Harrison Ford, Karen Allen, Alfred Molina, where he makes a small role, but that's like his small role, but there's, like they say in movies, there is no small role, just small people. You also have here Paul Freeman, Ronald Lacey, John Rhys Davies. I love when John Rhys Davies is ever in the production. Denholm Elliott, we know him from Trading Places, or I do anyway, with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
On Rotten Tomatoes, this is scored at 93% by the critics and 96% by the audience. Very highly rated for a film that's, Jesus, older than you.
81.
Well, it's not 81 years, but came out in 1981. Directed by Steven Spielberg.
Yep.
Story by George Lucas and produced by George Lucas.
Mhm.
It's a Lucasfilm, so you can find it on Disney Plus now, even though it's under Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. We're able to rewatch it, yes?
Yeah.
I just finished rewatching it. It really holds up. Pace is great. You have good storytelling for what it is. It's direct, it's to the point. Are there some flaws? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But there are some great moments, better moments than flaws, I think, or great moments than flaws.
Like Batman 89, it can
Mhm.
have plenty of flaws, but sometimes those great moments or the sum of its parts outweigh those flaws, I think is what we're trying to
Yes.
say, right?
Yes, those flaws sometimes stick out more and more the more times you watch it.
True.
You still have that appreciation for what it did and what it has done. But man, like again, when that thing with the reporter and no one knows who Bruce Wayne is and all that stuff, and even the criminals don't know who Bruce Wayne is, even though Wayne family is establishment in Gotham City, but but let's go on back onto here. I want you to go first in the sense of what did you like?
Okay. So
About
with
this?
context here, it's been probably over a decade easy since the last time I've seen this movie. And even at that, it was like in bits and parts. So today was like the first day I've pretty much sat down in its entirety to watch it. Talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, you know what? I never sat and watched the beginning of it in its entirety in one sitting. And I knew all the scenes that were seen, but in succession, watching it back to back, it's very iconic, very good, and a very good start to what is Indiana Jones. Like you see his character come in, he doesn't talk, he's like has like almost like a hero-esque style to him that comes in. That is cut very short for me when I see Alfred Molina playing a Latino guy.
Well, Malina is an Italian name.
I know, but I always picture him with a different accent.
Right. Yes.
And he has it was like a unibrow in like this
Yes,
spray tan.
that's true.
That threw me out, but I was able to stay with the film and it was really good. Action was consistent. It was good. It's a little bit dated for how some of the action is and some of the flow. It felt good that it was dated because nowadays everything's like you have to have like boom, 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 action, boom, 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 dialogue. And this has action, but then there's pause for that intrigue because now you're researching with him. You're not having things thrown at you. You're like, it's teaching you patience.
Not just that, like in a sense, like how Star Wars was inspired, in
Mm-hmm.
the sense of how it inspired George Lucas, in the sense of serial films back in the day, where before you see a movie, you see like a short stories or short films prior to the main attraction. And that's what I got from here watching this again. It's like you had that feel. The guys back in the day had the suits with the fedora. You have him, the lead, wearing a fedora, even though he's wearing a leather bomber and he has a whip, but he has that feel and the pace where, yes, the punches are like the 1-2 is not rapid fight
Yeah,
scenes like you said before, but it's like bam, 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 like so you can see what's happening. You can see the action being done in a clear way.
correct.
No shaky cam, no extreme close-ups. So yeah, I can get to that. Now also here is the music by John Williams that
It helps bring
Kim
you
was
in.
does it does bring you in, but the thing is like Kim was watching, it's like it sounds like Star Wars.
Oh, it's very similar.
Well, yeah, same thing. Like, say with me, sometimes when I'm listening to either the Indiana Jones series, Star Wars series, or the original Superman series, all done by John Williams, you can hear the resemblance, especially with Indiana Jones and the Star Wars franchise.
True. I would feel like that's more like a flair of the artist. It's like when you listen to your favorite band or musician, they usually most of their songs have a running, sound.
True, true, but the thing is, like, that's their band, where each movie is distinct or different than one. Because you have Indiana Jones, but it's not the same as Star Wars. They're not saving a princess. Maybe they are in a way that there's they're trying to rescue the Ark, and that's what they're trying to do.
One could
And
argue
have it,
Karen Allen was a princess.
yes, but I'm saying like, but the thing is, like, the Ark, that was the goal, right? To get the Ark from the Nazis.
Yeah,
In Star Wars, the Empire is a reinterpretation or an interpretation of the Nazi regime, and she's the ark, she's the prize, the princess.
yeah.
Okay, so you have that, but then you have the music, and then Superman. That's a total different genre and story. But you have that music, and there's a clear connection, and unfortunately, I just wish it was a little different. Yes, you have that hero theme of Indiana Jones, which you cannot deny, just like you cannot deny the Imperial March theme.
Yeah.
And then Jurassic Park too, because you can hear that too, because John Williams played the music for Jurassic Park. So when you're hearing the music, I was like, oh, there's a little flavor of Jurassic there. There's a little flavor of Star
Mhm.
Wars there and here. And at one time, it seemed like one of the hills was from, in the beginning, that is, while Indy is running away from the tribe, the landscape kind of looked like from Jurassic Park.
I
And
could see that.
I'm not saying that it is the same location, but that's what it looked like.
I'm surprised he hasn't bought dinosaurs already.
That's the Fast and Furious franchise.
I mean,
You know, though, there is an Easter egg in Raiders of Star Wars. It's with him and Shala are picking up the ark or getting
okay.
ready to, right? And
Uh,
there's a cut on Indy. And over his right shoulder on the wall in the tomb is a hieroglyphic of 3CPO and R2D2.
ooh, I did not see that.
Well, yeah, you don't expect to see that,
Yeah.
especially back then when Easter eggs was rarely common
So
as it is today.
in common nerd theory, then that would mean Star Wars and the Indiana Jones universe is all in the same universe, just like Star Wars is in the same universe as ET.
I know what you're saying. In the prequels, right?
Well, not oh yeah, because it is in the prequels,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got ET dressed up like that, and he was wearing a Star Wars uniform. It's all secular, and
When was ET wearing a Star Wars
no,
uniform?
no, it was during Halloween. Wasn't one of the kids wearing like a Star Wars shirt?
Oh, maybe I can't. I haven't seen
No,
it
they were
in a
dressed
while.
as Yoda. They were dressed as Yoda. It was a kid dressed as Yoda.
Maybe I don't remember.
And
I
he,
haven't seen it in a while.
yeah, yeah. And then now here, it's all secular. So now we just need time travel.
It's like a circle.
It's like a
It's like a
circle.
circle. But
Star Wars is like a circle with George
but
Lucas. We're
but
gonna get flagged on that one.
why? Why
I
we
don't
get
know.
flagged on?
Someone's gonna hate it.
But it's not. But is it wrong? No.
No, we're actually now we just connected everything.
There's a comic book also illustrating that either Indiana Jones or Star Wars. There's like I can't remember exactly, but one is paying tribute to the other.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Is there a specific scene, or what? Did you enjoy this scene again after so long? You said.
Yes, I'm gonna say
Okay.
I did enjoy it.
Do you think it holds up?
Surprisingly, yes.
Yes.
I
Yes.
I I I, I would say it does. There were some pleasant moments for me. Like I forgot like some of the actors that were in it.
Hmm.
John Reese Davies that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I I love him as an actor,
Oh, me
and
too.
I was the
Me too.
biggest Sliders fan. and like he was in that show for the long haul, and
Mhm.
like that was my go-to character casting, and I just love him in every role I've ever seen him. This film, even your villains, your and your all the characters seem to ham it up, and I kind of like it when I see actors ham up their roles and really get into it, and it almost to a point is kind of ridiculous. The one guy who likes to torture,
Oh, yeah,
Tote,
that's Tolt.
Tote,
Tote? Tote? I
Tot.
thought Tolt. Uh,
I'm not good with
that guy.
accents.
That guy.
The old Fräulein.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
I feel like he was the inspiration for Home Alone, and I say that
Oh,
scene
for the
where
stunt, for
for
the
the stunt
stunt.
with the hand
Oh, okay,
because
yes.
then they show him outside in the snow, which was not needed, but it was like fast forwarded, like the him like
Right, right, jumping really, like
looking like Benny
yeah.
Hill.
Oh, if that's a deep cut on that. Ooh.
Yes, showing my grays in my memory. Uh,
You remember Benny Hill? Because I used to love Benny Hill
oh
back in
yeah,
the day, and
grandma's
you're
house. I used to see
oh,
it was
grandma's house.
yeah. I it was two things I would watch at grandma's house. Price is Right. That was either nap time or
Uh-huh,
or
uh-huh,
Benny Hill, just because there was nothing else good on,
right,
and you hear doo 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 doo
yeah.
doo doo, that kind of thing.
Like, I'll have to say that the characters here are written well.
Yeah.
You have the villains, you have Belloc and Tote.
Hmm.
Those 2 were great. Like, Tote, it was like he was I would not say he's the Darth Vader of this, but he's definitely like Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Belloc was more like Darth Vader, the arch enemy of the hero. And the Nazi regime or Hitler was like the empire
They always
or the,
referred to the Führer, and the Führer was like the emperor, and
right,
then
the Hitler, yeah.
I would say Dietrich, who was like the tall
Mhm, mhm.
German who was barking orders, would have been Tarkin. Tot would have been like who you said, like Boba. Belloc would have been Vader. He had his own motivations.
True.
Hmm.
Uh, I want to make a correction that I called John Reese Davies' character Shala is Sala. So I just want to
Solid.
make that correction, right? But also, real quick, I when I was watching it again, and of course we sometimes we miss it until we watch it the latest time. We catch some things. I don't know if you noticed it, but I just noticed, and I just checked because I meant to check earlier. The monkey trainer, remember him? He had the patch. He's the same one that we saw earlier in the beginning of the film with Melina.
Yeah.
He was the guide as well. He gets stabbed,
I didn't
not
catch
stabbed.
it, but when
He
now
gets
that you mention
poisoned.
it, yeah,
Right. I was like, he looks very familiar. And all they did was make his beard darker and
slap a
put a
giant
patch
eye
on.
patch.
And that was it.
That's a common thing for a lot of like throwaway characters. They'll get like stuntmen or something like that to redo.
Yeah, but he was not a throwaway because throwaway characters is more like in the sense where you don't really see the face.
Yeah.
Maybe profile or something like that, like, especially like stuntmen, because stuntmen get recycled
Maybe they were
due to
hoping the first role wasn't as noticeable as the
I
second
mean,
role.
you no, well, you don't really notice it. When you watch it the first time, I have no idea. You're not gonna notice it because you're just so enthralled into the movie. You're inside it. But when you, again, the more times you see things,
Yeah, the
the
more
more time you see it, the more you see. So I just thought it was pretty cool. Was there a favorite moment?
I kind of like the whole escape in the desert when he's fighting by the plane.
Yes, yes.
Because again, a lot of moments I forgot, and I forgot that I did notice that though. Like almost every Indiana Jones, there's always one big guy who is working the heck out of him, and he just gets
Mm-hmm.
super lucky and he wins.
Oh, he got super lucky on this one.
Absolutely, that guy was tearing him down, and
Yeah,
then and the plane
but
just happened to turn.
that was also comical for me too.
Oh, absolutely. I remember also as the fight's going on, the one pilot gets knocked out, which triggers the whole thing to start turning around. And you
Mm-hmm,
just see
mm-hmm.
her stand up like, I got the thing. And she's like standing and I'm like, that had me cracking up because the way she stood, I know it's supposed to be like comical with it, but she looked
Right.
like almost sinister. It's like, ah, she's
Yeah.
insane.
For me, it's a long sequence.
The overall sequence itself is extremely long.
But you have that where, in a sense, you have that escape because they escaped the cave or the tomb, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
After they were
the
trapped in
snakes.
the snakes and all that stuff, and then you got from there the truck chase.
Yeah.
You have all that, and I think that was all. I mean, I love that part where by the plane and all that stuff, and the guy that he's fighting,
Oh, that
eh,
guy, his name was Pat Roach.
right? But he looks like another person, like Jackie Chan's The Big Brawl or Battle Creek Brawl, depending on where it was released back in the day. He's like baddie that Quan, Jackie
Hmm.
Chan's character, had a fight. So when I was younger, I thought it was the same guy.
Well, he was in Willow.
I understand he was the one with the mask, right?
Yeah,
With the skull mask, but we don't see that much. We only see it one time without the mask. But
true.
what I'm saying, back when I was younger, I thought the two people
We're the same.
were the same guy because they're bald headed, they have a mustache, they're white, they're husky. You know,
I get that.
yes, I did like that, and the punching where the guy Pat Roach he throws a jab at Indy, and Indy just like drops. He caught him off guard. He just drops. But then later on in that same fight, Pat Roach hits him twice with two different punches, and Indy spins twice spins once with each punch in the opposite direction.
Yep, that was an
So
anime
like,
punch.
but still is good nonetheless. And then the fight, and then the the Chuck? The truck
The,
chase.
the Chuck roast.
Jesus, that was a tongue twister. I That was also entertaining where he's trying to get in and then he's like falling over and then trying to go underneath the truck and he uses his whip to hold on.
Yeah,
And then when he comes in, he gets shot in the shoulder. I mean, the whole thing, he gets shot in the shoulder. When he's about to hit people off road, he smiles. He gets a little sinister. And the guy gets run over on
you
another
actually see
shot.
that a lot in the movie. Like he goes through some more sinister, dark moments a lot in the movie itself.
Right, no, but definitely with that smile, with a little smirk, like I'm about to knock you down or take you off the cliff or what have you. I was like, "Ooh, he's getting a little riled up here. He's getting a little excited, a little too excited."
Oh yeah, Indy likes taking out his enemies.
Right. So all that, and then which leads into the ship,
Yeah.
and that part where she knocks him, and he screams,
Yes, that was
"Poor
hilarious.
guy!"
I laughed at work. I was at on break watching it. And I'm like, boom, and I'm
Um,
like, oh,
but it's funny because this guy who's just went through hell to get the Ark from the Nazis, getting shot, gravel or road rash, if you will, because
hmm
no, that's what he got. He got road rash, and he's like, of course, at the moment the adrenaline's up, and now he calms down. All that pain he's hitting with, and do you blame him for falling asleep? No.
no,
After that kiss, he was getting all excited, but he was just so spent that he just knocked out. I was like, I feel you, bro. Now, granted, apparently he woke up because they're both like
yeah, yeah.
naked in the morning.
Mhm.
But yeah. Any other scene that you enjoyed?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll be a fool not to mention the one of the most iconic scenes where the
Hmm.
guy with the sword
Hmm.
and he just
Right.
pulls out the gun.
Well, we know the story, but for
Yeah,
those who don't know, you can explain. But I just find it funny in a way that in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, because I just found out, you told me, you forgot that you told me,
yeah,
I didn't know this until recently, that Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark. And there's a scene where he's going for his gun, just like he did here. And from that scene, and I was like, oh, wait a minute. Then, because it was a callback to Raiders of the Lost Ark, but then it's not a callback because it never happened yet in
yeah.
that film for that film, that time period. But anyway, so you like that because, of course, this iconic scene is duplicated in one way or another in multiple films. But
Correct.
what makes it more iconic is what?
The story behind it because
Yes.
that was supposed to be a whole fight thing, and they were supposed to do some other stuff, and they've been making multiple shoots, and it was hot. You could see it in the movie, like in that particular scene, because there's a lot of cuts, and that's one a few times you'll see noticeably cuts from different angles, just for that one scene, and like some of the cuts he's like extra sweaty, and he
Hmm.
had gotten sick. I forget what,
Hmm.
like he got like food poisoning or something like that,
Right, right.
and he's just like, hey, let's just call it a day. We'll do one quick scene. I'll just shoot the guy. And so he just like pulls it out, pop, puts it in.
I think that's a little different than what it was.
I might be paraphrasing.
No, it was that he wanted to shoot, but the thing is, like the whole big fight scene, and he just couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's
And
why because I say it was like,
right, no, yeah, because again, it was multiple things, like you said. But what happened, I think, and I could be wrong, but that he was so sick, and then he went for the gun, and the swordsman connected to him. and was like an improv scene where he just came out, shot, and he just fell.
Yeah.
So it was all in a sense like in the moment. It was totally freestyle. It was not planned.
That's what I mean to say. It was
That's
like
what
it's an improvised scene. I don't think he talked to the director too much about it.
right, and just did it and just kept, and then he walked away, and people cheered. It was all like everyone was connected to what was happening.
Honestly, makes sense. You got a gun, you got guys doing all these moves
Mhm,
right in front of you, and it's like,
mhm.
fine.
I also liked the how he found the location of the ark.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's what I
why.
was referring to when I was talking about patience, because like you have to be patient when he was doing the light thing, and they were panning it out, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like you have to be in that moment.
Hmm.
And I think they did a really good job of doing that, and I think that's what you were trying to get to as well.
Well, yeah. Then it says how how the light traveled, and then the big prize was in full display, if you will, in the sense of location. And you just see how like the mind of Indiana Jones works because he seems he's deducting. He of course he found the location, but then he's just in that moment. You see the professor come out,
Yeah.
and I just like that. And I also liked how, in honor of the serials back in the day, that how the hero was presented. Like you said, we don't see him like until like maybe up to 4 minutes in the beginning of the movie. We see his body, we see his silhouette, we see his hat and all that stuff. But then he comes out. It's like you're building up. We see everyone else. We see Alfred Molina, we see the other guy, and then but we don't see him until we need to see him. And then you also have all these shots like with when he meets Marion.
Hmm.
When he meets Marion,
He comes out the shadow.
well, not that he comes out of the shadow, is that his silhouette shows up on the wall while you see her, like he's bigger than life.
Yeah. Oh no,
Well,
I'm
he,
thinking of Fräulein. I'm thinking that guy coming out from when she opens the door.
oh yeah, he came out of the shadow, scared the crap. When I was a kid, he scared the crap out of me,
But
especially with that voice and his laughter.
I have to say the movie does good job with lighting, because that's a
Hmm.
whole effect thing throughout the entire film. Like even her character, there's moments where the light just hits, like when he's going to walk away, and the light hits his eyes, and you see it's like shadows from
Right,
the grid
right,
in the bar.
right. No, it's done very well. Yes, but that being said, the CGI is still horrible. It's still horrible.
Was
I
that
mean,
CGI for the? You're talking about the ghosts?
talking about the ghosts. Are you serious? Is that CJ? Was that really? Was there a real ghost there?
No, no, no.
What are you
The
talking about?
practical effects, like were they using CGI then? I don't think they were using CGI, because you could do ghost effects without CGI. It just is practical effects.
What, the ghost running through the Nazis?
Yeah.
No, no, no. In behind the scenes, all that stuff is post
Yeah.
because during the filming, all those actors are just going like this.
Yeah.
Nothing's being lit. Nothing's being lit on them. Nothing that. This is just imagine something's going through you, and that's
Okay.
what they're doing. And then the ghost and all this stuff was added on. But I'm talking about like the face melting. Those are practical effect, but it was
Yeah.
just it looked bad. But some
I'm
of the other
sorry.
stuff was
When I think CGI, I think like computer graphics and stuff like that.
right.
Right. Not
Well,
like,
not computer graphics like today, but they had
yeah.
computer graphics there back then too. It
Yeah.
was just a little different.
You're
But
talking
but
about
like
just in general special effects.
right, but the face melting for some reason it reminded me of Beetlejuice.
Oh, absolutely. Um,
But the head blow off that took me off. Totally forgot his head
Y'all, I
blows
forgot
off.
how violent this movie was. First of all, the rating is PG, just flat PG. And
Mhm.
then when it
Well,
comes up,
back then it was it's
loose.
either PG, G, R, or X, depending on how violent it was,
Yeah.
or
So
NR, maybe NR. But back then, yeah.
here's where it gets funny though for me, because when I was watching it, and of course we were watching on Disney, it goes PG, and then it comes up rated PG for tobacco use or something like that.
Who was smoking?
The main actress, she's like the main smoker in the entire film.
She was smoking
Karen Allen, yeah, Marion.
at the bar,
She
I guess.
smokes. Bellick smoked, and
Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Then, okay, there.
and
Okay,
like a bunch of other characters. But either way, Alfred Molina's character, you see him like impaled. You see
right.
like skeletons. You see one character get shot in the head, like right in front of her. And
Oh,
I'm like,
that guy, he had prosthetics on.
absolutely, yeah.
He was not Asian. He
No.
was not. That was prosthetics
A
because I
lot
was
of those
like,
Nepal characters were no.
no.
The end scene that you're talking about, as flawed as it is for special effects, I kind of like the one where the guy gets like dehydrated, not the face melting one. I know what you're talking about,
The fate, which one was
because
okay?
all three of them died differently.
Right.
So one pretty much was face melts like wax.
That's the Tarkin character.
Yeah. And then
Tolt gets burned, like he melts,
yeah, Tolt is
and,
the one that melts. The
and
Tarkin
Belloc.
character is the one that dehydrates and just like,
Mhm.
and then
That's what reminded me of Beetlejuice, the shrinking head guy in Beetlejuice. That's what kind
I
of
did laugh at that too because he was like just the entire time. But Balak, yeah, he's like, "Isn't it beautiful?" The last words of a man.
but I think he was a great arch enemy of Indy in the sense that they're like both sides of the coin.
He even tells him that he's like,
Right. We're the same.
Here's the good thing I like about his character as a villain. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the hero's always chasing the villain, and the villain's always doing this, and he's like his foil." Technically, this guy's always a step behind Indy.
No, no, he's not. What he is, he's always there, but Indy's the one that just finds it. He's like the extra, he's
Yeah,
like the missing ingredient.
exactly. What I mean to say, he's on par in a lot of ways, but
Hmm.
he utilizes Indy, if anything else, to
Hmm.
accomplish his own goals.
Well, yeah, like you notice in the opening scene that he's pretty much waiting for him.
Yeah,
He's letting Indy do all the work, and then he takes the prize.
it's like one of those
And
things. Like if Lex Luthor worked with Superman, they'll be technically unstoppable.
mhm.
If these two guys work together, really, would there be a treasure that they couldn't find? Probably not.
As much as we love this film and enjoy it immensely, there are some flaws, like I mentioned earlier.
Special
Do
effects.
you remember, besides the special effects? I mean, and it's minor, but you would think though, like Lucasfilms, if they could update the prequels, not the prequels, the original trilogy, and if they can change the name of the title into Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark, you would think they will put some effort to update the special effects.
Tying it up.
Wasn't much of the special effects, but they could have tied it up. It would have been a lot cleaner,
Mhm.
a little more believable, if you will.
Okay,
Well, besides the special effects, what other is there any moment or scene you thought was like, eh?
I'm gonna openly admit, maybe I missed this answer, and I'm sure this has been a thing. How does he know to close his eyes?
A few moments later.
I can only think of when he said that. It only took me back. It took me back to his lecture scene, and the girl is looking at him, and she closes her eyes, and there's like "I love you" on her eyelids. And for some reason, I don't know why I thought of that because maybe it's like because sometimes like some movies, what the answer that you
Foreshadowing.
need, yeah, foreshadows what you need at the end.
Mhm.
I don't know, and I think where like her and the other chicks in the class were like all Google Gaga over him, looking at him with all this lust. So I got like how those Nazis were looking at the ark with lust or gluttony or what have you, greed. But when you close your eyes, you can't see that. So you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. The thing is, like, he's smart, and maybe that's answered in either Temple of Doom or in the Last Crusade.
To watch Temple
Maybe.
of Doom now.
Oh, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna review those too in light of
The
Dial of
upcoming movie.
Destiny. We're not gonna do chapter 4 or whatever, movie 4. We're not gonna do that. That's total waste of review time, even though Karen Allen comes back for that. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't remember that them saying, but
I
again,
mean,
he
that
is
was the one thing that
knowledgeable.
bothered me. I was like, protect the retinas. It's too beautiful. Did they
Right.
clarify if this is alien or actually mystical? I know they referred to it as possibly alien, but then
Well, this is
Belloc
supposed to
was
be
like, this
Ark.
is supposed to be God.
Yeah, no, this is the Noah's Ark,
Yeah.
lost Ark. So, but it was moved by Egyptians and stuff like that. So that's why they couldn't know where the exact location was. So no,
Mhm.
this is very well. Everything is pretty much not on Temple of Doom, no, but this and the Last Crusade, very Christian
Yeah.
theme. So you have that.
For a guy who doesn't
Now,
believe in magic, he gets hit with it a lot.
right, but then again, there's my other thing, my other issue.
The
If
magic?
this is a no, if this is a sequel to Temple of Doom,
Mhm.
he experiences mystical stuff, even though he claims here he doesn't believe in that. But then he throws his gun for safety precautions, right, into the suitcase. In Temple of Doom,
Kalima.
yes, he's experiencing it. He witnessed it. He experienced it as well. All that mystical stuff. So how can you say you don't when you actually did?
Serious disbelief.
Yeah, he's in denial. Whatever. It's so tragic that he couldn't. Is locked in his farm subconscious. I have some gripes.
Go ahead, hit me.
The giant ball, iconic scene.
Yeah.
He could have avoided all of that if he simply walked backwards.
Yeah, but correct me if
The
I'm
ball,
wrong.
the
When
ball would have passed him if he walked backwards because the ball he went through the opening, and then from that opening he sees the ball a little bit before it comes down rolling.
Mhm.
He could have stepped right back in because after he cleared the deceased Molina, he was safe. There was no darts being shot at him, no other threat.
But didn't the
Closing,
ball
closing up.
block that entrance that was leading to the deceased Molina?
It did, but not yet.
No, I'm gonna correct you right now because our mobile devices. Deceased Molina was before the ball.
It was before the ball, right? Yeah. Hello, and that's not. Yeah. So if he passed, okay, he passed Molina.
Yeah, he
He's
passed
going.
the Molina.
He's getting out of the cave, out of the cave,
Ball's
if you
chasing him
will.
to the entrance of the cave.
Right. But the thing is,
Oh my God, you're right.
thank you.
Because it's just a base. I mean,
It's an arch. It's an arch. He comes out of an archway.
the ball
The
doesn't pop
ball
out the entrance.
No, but the ball falls down over the archway, and all he did was clear it. He looked; he's right there. The ball he can see it. The archway is right there. All he had to do was slip back,
No, I agree
and
with
the
that.
ball would have won.
But you
Yes.
understand what I'm saying is like the ball goes all the way to the main entrance of the actual temple or cave.
Oh, so you're saying that it would have closed him in?
Yeah.
You don't think there'll be another opening? You
I mean,
remember there was,
he'll have to investigate. Yeah.
but no, but there was light being shown,
Yeah. That was for the traps. So
right?
there's possible
And
he could have got out.
that trap where Merlina got stuck in,
Hmm.
was stuck. He didn't go all the way back in, so he couldn't really go back out.
No, I don't disagree with that at all. So yeah, there's other ways he could have got out.
Right. I
Hmm.
mean, it was dramatic. It was great. It was exciting. I'm just saying, if I saw that, I would have been pop, 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 pop,
Hmm.
let it roll, and then go. That's all.
Plus, like literally uncovering some of the stuff to get to the Lost Ark. The whole scene that we liked about the lighting, that
Hmm.
flare to show where the Ark is.
Hmm.
That's not natural flaring of light. It lit the
No,
whole room like a
right.
solar flare.
Right, but I think it's more for dramatic effect.
Maybe.
It was just like more like ta-da is here.
All right.
That's
We'll
all.
give it artistic license.
Yeah, that didn't really bother me that much.
Hmm.
But what did, that he's there and Salah's there too,
Mhm.
looking for the entrance and all that stuff and finding where the exact location is outside. One group of Nazis see them, or actually Salah, they see Salah and make him move. But
Mhm.
seriously, all those people moving around, all those soldiers, all those other archaeologists and diggers, whatever, they don't see him or them walking around, going into a opening, coming out, seeing Indy looking through a telescope to find the mark, or that he's digging and his group is digging. No one sees that right there. It's not like they're miles away. They're like 50, 100, maybe 100 feet away from where everything else is happening.
Yeah.
I just like, wait a minute. They would have been stopped a long time ago, unless Belloc was like, no, let him do his thing. I already know what's going on, even though he was distracted by Marion.
I think Bella would have told him like on and off. Let him do his thing. We'll follow him. That kind of thing. Like he
Well, that's
knows.
what
He
happened to,
knows
yeah,
Jones.
right. But like I said earlier, like he let Jones do all the grunt work and he
Mhm.
reaped the benefits. Now, here's the biggest one too. So after that big chase to the boat scene that I liked,
Mhm.
he gets onto the sub,
Yes.
right? Submarines go underwater.
Yes.
They show a map of the submarine traveling to a destination.
Yes.
It didn't happen in 5 minutes.
Oh no.
The submarine must have gone underwater.
Mhm.
You can't get in, not that I believe, you can't get in,
From the outside.
especially if no one expects you to come in. They lock it up. So how the hell did he survive that? And if he did get in, how come he didn't get caught? Or how did he not get caught? Also, we see him next once the submarine has ported. He's drenched as if he was in water. I know he swam onto the submarine, but from the time he got on till he got on top of that lift to when the submarine ported, what the hell?
No, I don't disagree with any of that. He's the Aquaman. Apparently, they show it coming to the island surfaced.
Right,
So
but you
it
have to
leads you
surface.
to. I know it has to surface, but for those who don't, like it makes it look like it was floating on top the entire time, like he would just. And on top of that, you're right. It would take a while. He would die of dehydration, thirst, hunger. and like all
sun,
sun
the
sun
heat,
poisoning.
all that stuff. Like what happened, like from again on the map, of course it goes quick.
And you
But
remember
in
that one person
reality,
that did find him there was like just speaking to him in German, cleaning him up. I'm like, bro, he's been shot, cut, all these other things. You don't notice this, and you're just gonna fix him up like a soldier that's good to go. He's like super dirty. Remember, he knocked the guy out, took his hat.
right? But no, but the thing is, he took someone else out, and he was trying to put on the clothes, but the guy was too small.
Oh yeah. But
And
still,
so the guy, so the Nazi was like, "What's wrong with you? Why aren't you tightened up? Why aren't your
in
buttons up?"
German,
Blah blah
yeah,
blah. Yeah, in German. And I'm guessing it because I don't understand what he was saying, but I'm just guessing like he's giving a talking to a soldier.
yeah,
It was a great scene where he just knocks him out, and obviously he hits him. He knees him in the face, and the hat flies up. He catches it, which was really good. But that was like pretty much it of the my dislikes.
yeah.
It's not much. It's just some things to question. Like you question, how does he know how to keep his eyes closed? How do you survive that travel on the submarine?
True.
That's pretty much it.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right. Now let's wrap this up. So again, Rotten Tomatoes currently has it at 93% scored for the critics and 96% by the audience. I am right there with it. This is a fun movie. You can watch this anytime. Even though it is dated, it doesn't feel like it is because it is a period piece. So
Absolutely.
it's not like it's done in 2023. It's set in 1936, excuse me, 1936,
Hmm.
right pretty much the rise of the Third Reich.
Hmm.
No cell phones. Okay, there's no laptops, no tablets, nothing like that. So this can be seen and enjoyed for another. This is
40.
42 years. So it could be another 42 years. Could be appreciated.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree about the rating. Clearly, we both agree it holds up. Obviously, worth the watch. Is it worth the own?
Yes, but with the original title. Don't give me that freaking Indiana Jones and her Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, it's Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's what it was, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
I would get a 4K if they updated the CGI, the special effects. If they were able to update that, then I'll buy it. And fine, I'll buy it when it says Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'll do that.
Yeah. I think this
But
would also look good in 4K. Like,
oh, I think so too.
I mean, at 1080, it looks great.
No, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, on streaming, depending on your internet strength, you get it in 4K.
True. Curveball question for you, since we're talking about such a classic.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be worth a watch if they showed it in theater again?
Yes, yes.
Price of
I did that.
admission.
I did that with my biological father because they did it, and I think they brought it back for a little time for a period, a small like limited time, and we went and saw it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was like like maybe 5 years after. I think it was around the time we were bringing out Temple of Doom, so it was like kind of like a double kind of feature
Yeah.
kind of thing, whatever. I don't remember, but we did that. I'll also have one little nitpick. It is on the camera angle when Indy and Belloc are talking in the cantina.
Oh,
Where
the super zoomed in on his face?
well, yeah, you have Indy, they have Belloc in the back,
Yeah, yeah.
but I always had a problem because of that because there's a fan playing spinning, and it's like right where Indy's eye is, like he's blinking really fast.
Yeah, yeah.
It just bothers me. I know what it is, but still, it's just like it's like get that. What? Just change the angle a little bit more, where you don't see the fan.
Ever so slightly.
It's just like come on. Ugh. But that's just a nitpick that bothered me since I was a kid. But we are going to do a review of Temple of Doom, and we're going to do a review of The Last Crusade, because again, Last Crusade takes place supposedly immediately after this, Raiders of the Lost Ark, and the Temple of Doom takes place prior, like 3 years, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And that's the movie where Steven Spielberg met his wife.
Did not know that. All right.
All right, guys. That is our throwback review of Raiders of the Lost Ark. If you've seen it, let us know what was your favorite scene, or do you have any nitpicks about it? Let us know in the comments below. If you have a movie or show for us to review, please email us at talesoftvbros@gmail.com, or also leave a description below. Until next time, we'll be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adon.
Love you, bro.
Love you too. 59. Do you need to do anything before I hit end?
59 minutes?
Yeah, we ran on rants.